From November 25th, 2025, this year, to December 2nd, they're calling it a mass blackout. Not a march, not a protest, no science necessary. It's 1 week where we pull our dollars out of the system and see what happens when the economy feels the weight of our absence. There's a ton of places that you can go to make sure you support the right people, not corporations. We are done.
The answer isn't to stop buying stuff, but to stop working.
So we're all in agreement to boycott Black Friday and Christmas, right, guys?
And while we're on task, go ahead and cancel Christmas. Go on and start that family chat and let them know that you're not exchanging gifts this year. Hopefully everybody in your family is on board.
Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I had to update you and let you know what's going on. We know what's going on with SNAP EBT, the food stamp crisis, and from what I heard, they're going to keep the food stamps flowing. So we shall see. Also, we know everything happening with inflation, the quality of things, food, people being laid off of companies, and rent being too high. Well, on social media, some people are trying to have a mass blackout happen. All Americans get together and shut everything down. No celebrating Christmas, no celebrating Thanksgiving, and many other things. No events, no restaurants. Okay, I'm going to play this video where she's giving you the details of this, and I'm going to show you, look, there are some people upset with celebrities. People are starving, elderly people are starving, and children, and you have all these well-off celebrities who are pretty quiet, and some people are upset about it. Now, it is true, it is their money. People can do what they want with their money, but people are like, look, doggone it. We go to your concerts. We've made you mega stars, very, very wealthy. Where are you for the people who have money and wealth, not just billionaires, but millionaires and multimillionaires. And you can't force people to do things, but people are talking. So let me show you what's going on about this mass blackout. What is it? November 25th is when they want this to happen. November 25th through December the 2nd. Okay. People are saying, don't spend your money anymore. Keep your money. Don't celebrate the holidays and much more. So let's get a little bit more into it.
I know you weren't about to scroll, as I'm about to tell you the most important piece of information of the day. I've been tagged in all kinds of videos about this, so I'm going to speak on it. The mass blackout, which is happening from November 25th to December 2nd, I'm all in. I'm engaging, I'm participating. I'll be advocating for this with the Big Beautiful Boycott. We'll be pushing that information in our Discord as well as on our website once it's up and running. The People's Sick Day, who I have also advocated for that movement and their leadership, they've picked these dates as well. All of us, we're all coming together because we have to be one unified front. I'm going to go through the list of asks. You guys are going to flip out. That's fine, but I'm asking you to stay with me because I have a plan for you on the other end of this. First and foremost, if you want to take your country back, all you got to do is hit the pockets of the millionaires, billionaires, and the regime at the helm right now. They speak two languages, money and power. They hold hands. If you take away money, they don't have power. So the asks are this: no work. We'll talk about it. Don't flip out. No spending, no restaurants twice, by the way. Super important. We don't need to go out to a restaurant to eat. We don't need DoorDash and we don't need Uber Eats. I lived in the 90s. I know there wasn't that. No projects, no events. Let's talk about what all of this means and how to prepare for it. I've put together a checklist. All you have to do is follow the checklist and we'll be good to go. I'm also going to put this picture of this checklist in the comments, so make sure you boost that so it stays at the top, and also make sure you save a copy for yourself. Number one, essentials and groceries. People got to eat during this time, right? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to stock up on food, household items, and medications prior to November 25th. Now, we don't want there to be a surge in spending prior to the blackout. So what we're asking is that you buy from local or community-owned stores whenever possible, and you only buy exactly what you need to get through that brief period of time. Number two, your finances. Make sure you pay your bills and complete essential purchases before the blackout period. We're not going above and beyond. We don't need to spend more than we usually do. Just make sure everything that is going to be due during that time is taken care of. We are going to avoid large corporate spending during November 25th to December 2nd. If you must spend, you need to do it within a local business, a small business, something like that. We are not going to engage with major corporations. Now, work is where people get a little bit hesitant. So we're just going to ask that you do what you can. If you have PTO that you can use, that you can take some days off, do it. If you can't, well, then you're still showing up, but you're doing only the essential work. You're not going above and beyond. You're not going in early. You're not staying late. You are taking that full hour lunch break. Whatever your setup is, you are doing the bare minimum, because by doing the bare minimum, you are actually taking longer for money to move through the process. You know what I'm saying? We are also going to pause anything that's optional, whether it is deliveries or a project or something that can be put on the back burner, it gets put on the back burner. The other thing too is if you can't miss work, I get it. You need to make sure you're engaging in the economic blackout part of this, that you're not spending. Now, let's go to number 4, which is communication and awareness. So we are going to inform our friends, our family, anyone that we interact with on a daily basis of our plans for spending or work, because it is going to fall. Yes, it's going to fall over Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all of those important things. You need to let people know why you are not spending, and maybe encourage them to join you, okay? You need to share this information responsibly, focusing on the peaceful, legal parts of it. Go ahead and share this video, repost this video, make your own video. I don't care how the information gets out. If you feel like you can't do any of the, asks, at least push this information out for others. And then last but not least, after the blackout, we are going to resume spending with independent and local businesses. We are getting away from the corporate overlords, if you will. And after this blackout is a really good time to return to the Big Beautiful Boycott page, which will be up by then, and make sure you are following along with the companies that we are officially boycotting and have officially vetted for their participation in supporting this regime.
Well, there are a lot of people who are very serious about doing this. And look, I've always been a supporter of local businesses. As many of you know, right here on my channel, I like to promote business owners. Here's an amazing company. If you want some wine, boydcrewwines.com, very affordable. You see this on a number of my videos, so you already know I've been about that, okay? So yes, local businesses around where you live and not overspending. There have been so many people for years telling you, you want to try to save as much money. Some people look down on people who don't like to spend a bunch of money. If you want to go to a thrift store, or if you shop at certain stores where the food is a little bit cheaper, or ways you cut down on your utility bills and things like that. Frugal people. And now look what's going on. Look what's going on in our country. Now there are more people who want to live the frugal life. And that's a great thing. That's a great thing. That doesn't mean sometimes you can't sometimes treat yourself to stuff, but ways to save money. I actually had a video that I'm going to re-upload or make over about ways to save money again. So let's see what they're saying about the celebrities being real quiet about inflation, food stamps possibly being cut off, and people getting laid off their jobs. So many Americans crying about needing help. Let's see what they're saying.
Where are the celebrities? Where are the mothers? Where is Kim Kardashian? Where is Cardi B? Where is Taylor Swift? Where is Beyonce? 40 million people are about to lose their food assistance, and they do not care because they are part of the system. Wake up.
This is exactly what we tried to tell you guys when you had J-Lo, Beyonce, Taylor Swift all out there endorsing Kamala Harris last year. They're exactly where they've always been, tucked away in their giant mansions with their gated communities and private security and millions of dollars, only coming out every couple of years to provide their paid endorsement to candidates and politicians who would gladly withhold government assistance to people who need it just to get their way, while they themselves never have to deal with the consequences of the people or the policies that they support. They can get you to support these things, and whatever happens, happens. And when the policies of those candidates play out exactly the way that we said that they would, which is to make your life more difficult, more unsafe, and pretty much unsurvivable, they're not going to come to your rescue, because the things that they say when they get up to that microphone aren't based on anything more than a paycheck.
Wake up, they don't care.
Maybe think about that when you hear them endorse things like sanctuary cities, pew pew control, endorsing socialist and communist candidates. Think about the fact that they don't care because they don't have to. Stop trying to use celebrities to win people over to your side because we already know that they have zero credibility. And I'm glad that you're waking up to it.
Oh my goodness. So what do you all think about that? What do you think? Because look, you know what's interesting is that I had said before that when I see Black people saying that we need a Black community that's functioning with schools and hospitals like any other place, and when I have said, why don't you see any of these Black, very well-off celebrities? Black Americans are the richest Black people in the Black race globally. Then people will say, well, why do they have to care? Why do they have to do anything? That's their money. But yet, how are you going to get things built and things done when they are the wealthiest ones in the race? They're the ones, sports and entertainment at large, they have the most money. And if you need to build and you want to be able to go to them, then you would have to go to them, that you would need their support financially type of thing. That's a whole different video. But basically, look, celebrities, look, they are a brand. Their job is singing and dancing and acting. That's what they do. Yes, they sacrifice a lot, not getting sleep, being on very bad, dangerous diets, working and working and working to entertain the masses. Okay. But they have a huge fan base and people spend money to go to the concerts. If you're charging $700, $1,000 a ticket and, you know, talking about love and being a good person and interviews and in songs and stuff. And whether you are rich or not, we're all still humans. Okay. A lot of people, the wealthy people, a lot of people depend on wealthy people to fund things, taxes, to help keep society going. The thing is, though, you don't have to do things for people if you don't want to. But a lot of people claim to be of God and of the church and all this other stuff, but yet they get the money and they don't help people. Now, some of them do, and you don't always hear about it. Like Shaq, that man has a really good heart. And sometimes they give to these organizations and these charities. Some of them I think are fronts. I don't even think the money is actually even helping people sometimes. You know, they don't always give money directly to people. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't see them showing up with a truck full of baby formula and diapers and food to give. It doesn't have to be the holidays, okay? People keep talking about the holidays. Life goes on after the holidays. That's just one day. But they're saying November 25th through December, I believe 2nd again, let's show them how powerful we are and stop overspending. And I'm going to tell you some things, okay? But hold on. All right, let's see something real quick. I want to show you something. Look, baby. A lot of y'all go to church. A lot of y'all say y'all a Christian. And look, it says in the King James Bible, it says, I say unto you, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. Meaning, baby, you know, a lot of rich people ain't making it. The truth is, though, it's not about how rich or poor you are. If you're not a good person, it doesn't matter. No one cares. If heaven exists, they're not going to care if you was a big singer on earth. They're going to look at who you were as a person, okay? And just because you are wealthy, it doesn't mean anything, okay? It's not even just about getting into the heaven's gates up in the sky and all that. It's about having money is a bonus, okay? It's extra. It's a plus. You get to live better. You have better health care and all of that stuff. But it is sad when you do get all of this wealth. And I mean, and you could help someone. You know how amazing it is just to change someone's life. Maybe a girl who's in school to do hair. You could pay off her whole tuition to a celebrity that's rich, that's nothing, and her whole life's change. Her life changes. We know about, celebrities given to colleges and stuff, but you can go to the hood and pay off somebody's rent for 2 months or something. And I know some people can try to use you. I know some people, you might even have people in your family who are terrible, and you're like, look, I'm not giving no money to this person. You don't have to give money to everybody, but you can do some things that can change someone's life. We always see celebrities, every time a natural disaster happens, there's this relief fund thing. They get on TV TV singing, oh, help give money to this and that. Well, now we have a situation, inflation and all this stuff. I told you my great idea that I think very well off people can do. A very rich person who feels I need purpose in life. Baby, buy an apartment building. Buy an apartment building, multiple, a group of y'all, and make the rent $400. And if you're going off the planet, passing away, put it in somebody you care about, put it in their name, and let them collect the rent off those apartments. You know what I'm saying? You can make money that way, and the rent is lower. So you did something great. Buy the building, rent it out for a very, very low price, have it looking decent, and collect your money. You're rich anyway. That's an idea I thought of that someone could do, especially if they feel like they want to help people and stuff like that. So let's look at more videos about this blackout and what's going on.
From November 25th, 2025, this year, to December 2nd, they're calling it a mass blackout. Not a march, not a protest, no science necessary. It's 1 week where we pull our dollars out of the system and see what happens when the economy feels the weight of our absence. Because we've marched, we've begged, most of us voted the right way. And now we're just going to sit back and test the one thing this country truly worships: money. See, this isn't the first time we've tried this, right? Economic boycotts have always been the heartbeat of real change. From Montgomery to Operation Breadbasket. When the buses lost money, segregation fell. When companies realized ignoring Black consumers meant losing profit, they started hiring, promoting, and pandering. History has already shown us that pulling our dollars hits harder than any speech, any march, any protest ever could. The timing isn't random. Black Friday is the biggest spending weekend in America. Billions get poured into corporations that barely reinvest in the communities that made them rich in the first place. So from November 25th to December 2nd, the goal is simple, okay? Buy nothing that doesn't circulate back into us. You hear me? Support small, support local, support Black. Because when we withhold our dollars, we remind this country that we're not just consumers. We are the economy. So yeah, the mass blackout isn't about canceling Christmas or skipping joy. It's about shifting power and realizing that every dollar that we spend is a vote for the world that we live in. They've ignored our voices. They've ignored our pain. Let's see if they ignore our absence. We're not asking anymore. We are shutting this shit down. Okay? No spending. If you do need something, make sure you go to farmers market, support small businesses. There's a ton of places that you can go to make sure you support the right people, not corporations. We are done.
The answer isn't to stop buying stuff, but to stop working. Y'all are under the impression that it is the money that they want, that they need, that this system runs off of. But that's not true. These people are trillionaires, billionaires. They have more money than 5 or 6 people can spend in a lifetime. It's not about money. It's about life force. It's about keeping you working, keeping you spending your energy, your time, and devoting your entire being to the system to control you. It was never about money. It's about control. Did we not learn anything from the Hulu, Disney boycott a few months ago? What did they do after we boycotted? They went up on the prices. That was to show you that they never cared about the money. They just wanted to show you that they could control you, and they can. As long as you go to work every day, pour your energy into the system, they win. Did we not learn anything from COVID? If we should have learned anything from COVID, we should have learned that the only thing that truly shuts the system down is not working, not feeding and pumping your life force into it. Why do you think we pay bills every month?
Let's keep it real. We know good and doggone well that everybody's still going to work at large. People have been saying this for years. It's not going to happen. I'm keeping it real with you. People are scared. They need to pay their bills. They have children. And a lot of people are not going to risk losing their job. You can go ahead and do it. And guess what? They will have you replace the same week. That is reality. It sounds good. I don't think I will ever see this. Possibly, but I highly doubt it. But is she telling the truth, y'all? Y'all let me know what you think in the comment section.
Right? Because it's just enough to not make you completely lose your mind, but just enough to keep you in constant fear of poverty. Same reason we have insurance. Same reason we have debt. It's to keep you in constant fear so that you always feel the need to work, provide. Fear that you will die, starve, not make it. System has enough money. You want to know why the system has enough money? Because money is not real. Money is not real. There's always going to be money because the money is based off of nothing. Money literally comes out of thin air. Poof, poof. It's nothing. It's just literally numbers in a digital space. That's it.
I agree with her. I actually said this years ago, but the truth is that we still live here, and without money in some form of way, you cannot buy food. You cannot buy your hygiene products. You cannot live on earth you cannot live in the United States on earth without some form of money anywhere you go. It doesn't even have to be paper money. It could be seashells or something. It will always exist some type of way. You know, the best thing a person can do is get money and have some land and put your house on it and try to live off the land, off the grid type of thing like that. Some people have done it. So you still might end up paying for, of course, your Wi-Fi and your water and stuff like that. But a lot of people want to be free. I've been seeing so many videos of people of all walks of life trying to live off the land the most that they can, growing their own food, especially right now. Okay.
Your life force, your time, your energy. Those are very real concepts that you pump into the blood of the system every day. Oh no, a blackout is like putting a Band-Aid over a bullet wound.
That's what's going to hurt them. Fine, we can't all do a general strike. I get it. Let's boycott Christmas. We don't need material things anyway. It's 2025. Do you really want to buy all this stuff from the companies that laid everyone off this year? I don't think so. What we want is more time anyway, with our families, with our friends. If you work that day, call off, call in sick. Let's boycott Christmas. We can do this.
Okay, so I wanted to share this with you. If you're going to boycott and you're not going to celebrate Thanksgiving or Christmas, and for me, that's not a big deal at all because growing up, I didn't even really always celebrate these holidays and I was fine every now and again. And look, you don't have to have turkey and you don't have to go with the program all the time. You know, you can eat a simple, good meal at home for Thanksgiving. Now, for me, look, I want a good sweet potato pie. A good sweet potato pie. Maybe I might have some lasagna, a pot roast or something. I don't know, but I do want a good sweet potato pie. And I wanted to share this with you. If you're going to cut back on what you're spending, but you want something good at the house, very similar to what I use already. And I wanted to share this with you. Okay, so there you go. 2 cups of mashed sweet potatoes, sugar, butter, eggs, milk, vanilla, cinnamon, nutmegs, a little bit of salt, and sweet potato pie. Or maybe you're going to make a pumpkin pie. I know people go back and forth, the war between sweet potato pie and pumpkin pie. Yes, I love a good sweet potato pie, but some of you might like a pumpkin pie. And this page on TikTok is very, very amazing. As a matter of fact, this is her page. This is her page right here. Black girl from Michigan, a black chef from Mississippi though. Okay, I want you to check out her TikTok. She has so many cute illustrations showing her recipes and you're going to love it so much on there. Okay, so let's get back into this video really quick. Okay.
So we're all in agreement to boycott Black Friday and Christmas, right, guys? Like, America's broke. Like, we just got done paying for a genocide. Like, we don't have money for extra shit. Like, they know that, right? So just spend time with your friends and family, nature, and give money to your friends. Like, fuck corporations.
Hey, guys, so when I said cancel Christmas, a few people got it a little twisted. I never said cancel love. I never said cancel family. I said cancel the greed. Cancel the corporations that jack up prices all year long, then guilt trip us into debt for a holiday that they turn into a business model. Look around. The same companies that lay off people are the ones pushing billion-dollar ad campaigns, telling you to spend more. The same politicians cutting health care and raising food costs will post photos in matching pajamas, talking about the reason for the season. Nah, we see it now. And for the moms saying, but my kids won't understand. Sis, that's exactly why this matters so much. It's powerful. It's a powerful lesson for them to know love isn't something you buy. It's something you build. To learn that joy doesn't come from what's wrapped under that tree, but from who's sitting around it. Canceling Christmas isn't about being cold. It's about being conscious. It's about saying, you don't get to profit off my struggle anymore. If you want to celebrate, do it, but do it with intention. Cook at home. Trade handmade gifts. Donate. Volunteer. Be present, not pressured. And if you must go out and spend with local-owned business or minority-owned businesses in your neighborhood. It's going to be okay. This is how we fight back, quietly, powerfully, but refusing to feed the machine that's been feeding on us. So yeah, I said it once and I'll say it again. Cancel Christmas. Celebrate each other instead.
And while we're on task, go ahead and cancel Christmas. Go on and start that family chat and let them know that you're not exchanging gifts this year. Hopefully everybody in your family is on board. And I know you're thinking about the kids. Well, Facebook Marketplace. If you're going to buy something from somebody, buy something small and local. You know, support a small retailer. But it's going to be Red Friday for these folks this year. Someone called it that in my chat. It says it's not going to be Black Friday this year. It need to be Red Friday. And I agree 100%. Hashtag Red Friday. But it's a good opportunity to teach your kids that freedom ain't free. And it's a conversation that need to be had because, you know, somebody going to have to sacrifice and we going to have to fight for this shit. So here we are. And those retailers, they're going to know. I know they're sitting on inventory from last winter. And guess what? They're going to have that same inventory next winter. It's like, seriously, let's do this. There were Christmases I had as a kid where my mom didn't have any money. She made a sweet potato pies, and that was fine. You know, they were good. We were just as happy. We were like who's in Whoville. And I think that's how it needs to be. You know, if you want to do something, switch it up a little bit. Do some community service. Spend some time, you know, serving in a soup kitchen as a family. Donate some money to like a homeless shelter. Help somebody else this year. Do something that really counts if you're going to do something. But if you buy some, please buy something small and local. Don't give these retailers nothing. We're not spending money. October, November, December, they make a whole lot of money off of us. And here's the time to teach them. We're not spending no money. Red Friday, cancel Christmas.
Okay, we have to touch and agree. The holidays are canceled. It's a wrap for 2025. That includes Halloween, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. Every single holiday is canceled. We're on a spending freeze. We need collective buy-in. We need collective action. These folks are trying to take our freedoms. Every day they up the ante. And every day we resist and push back. And we're gaining ground. But the truth is, Sister Asada, our newest ancestor, said it best. You cannot appeal to the moral sense of your oppressors, right? You're expecting them to just like give you your freedom. No, these folks are trying to take every freedom that we have. They don't care about veterans. They don't care about women. They don't care about children. They don't care about education. They don't care about trans folks. They don't care about disabled folks. They literally only care about the 1%. And so we got to talk the way they talk. That's in numbers. The boycott with Target, it's working. It's working. And this holiday season, this is where all stores make the bulk of their money. So yeah, we're going to starve them out by not giving them our hard-earned money. Also, we kind of need to like store for slightly more difficult times. You see what they're doing with SNAP. You see what they're doing with Medicaid. And just all insurance premiums. You see what's happening with housing. You see what's happening with education. Like, they're desperate because they understand that treason is a real thing. So let's be smart. Let's touch and agree. Have those difficult conversations with your family, with your friends, and stop spending money. And just as a reminder, we've been here before, especially us. We've kind of lived this, so we're prepared for it. But
this might be a little more severe when you're having to tell your children that we're not doing Halloween. Have a harm reduction approach, right? Maybe it's not an all or nothing, right? For a lot of us, it should be. But for those of us who kind of need to walk our way there, instead of getting 25 gifts, maybe get 3, maybe get 5. But also, like, think back to the onset of COVID and thereafter, right? When we were on lockdown for months and like a year, there was a lot of loss. But something that we gained from that experience, that horrific experience that could have been prevented by the man in office right now, was an ability to just kind of reimagine who we are, what our values are, how we interact in the world, what our family means to us, what work means to us or doesn't mean to us. That opportunity wasn't squandered. A lot of us have changed our lives and our values. So allow this to be another opportunity to kind of just expand that, right? Get buy-in from your kids by like, let's do something fun and different. How can we make this fun? Make it a game night. Make it a night where everybody just has appetizers, or we're saving our money for something really special a year from now. Let's see how much we can save, and then let's decide what are we going to do with that. Maybe we go somewhere permanently, or just for a trip, right? But the kids can get buy-in if you sell it to them, if you believe it yourself. So like, we're all in this together. We can do this.
So I'm going to leave with one more video about the history of Black Friday, because everyone knows what happens on Black Friday. And they're like, look, boycott Black Friday too.
Black Friday hadn't been the same since people were getting bust upside the head for a $100 60-inch TV at Walmart. Y'all remember that? Folks were out here camping in the cold, fighting strangers for a deal that expired at sunrise. It used to feel wild, but now when you really think about it, it just feels sad. Because Black Friday was never about the deals. It was about control. The same thing it's always been about. And if you trace it back, the history of Black Friday says more about America than any sale ever could. Most people think Black Friday started with shopping, but it didn't. The first time the phrase showed up was in 1869, when two white financiers, Jay Gould and Jim Fisk, tried to corner the gold market. Their greed crashed the economy and ruined thousands of ordinary people's lives. The papers called it Black Friday because people woke up broke. 100 years later, the name got recycled. This time by Philadelphia police in the 1950s. They dreaded the Friday after Thanksgiving because downtown was just so chaotic. Traffic jams, shoplifters, stampedes. Retailers hated that negativity, so they flipped it. They rebranded it as the day the stores went into the black, meaning profit. Same greed, new marketing. And by the 1980s, companies realized they could weaponize desperation. They trained people to believe that scarcity was excitement. They built doorbusters, countdowns, and midnight openings. Psychological warfare dressed up as fun. And it worked. People lined up at 3 a.m. to buy stuff they didn't need, while workers barely making above minimum wage risked getting trampled to keep the registers moving. Every year, someone got hurt. Some years, people died. And companies just called it a successful turnout. And when Cyber Monday showed up in 2005, that was not innovation. It was adaptation. Marketers noticed that people were shopping online at work the Monday after Thanksgiving, so they built a fake holiday around it. Now it's an algorithm instead of a doorbuster. Instead of fighting strangers in a Walmart aisle, we fight the illusion of scarcity on a screen. Clicking add to cart while data brokers track our dopamine. Different battlefield, same manipulation. Black Friday and Cyber Monday collectively rake in about $20 billion every year. Billion with the B. Billion. But ask the warehouse workers skipping bathroom breaks, the retail clerks missing family dinners, the delivery drivers running on fumes. What do they get out of it? Nothing but exhaustion and abuse. And somehow we call that holiday spirit? So yeah, Black Friday used to be about a $100 TV. But now it's about the $100 billion corporations convincing you that happiness ships in 2 days. We traded Thanksgiving for consumer hunger and worship sales like salvation. They call it Black Friday and Cyber Monday. But what it really is proof that America turned greed into national tradition. We stopped chasing freedom and started chasing discounts. Enough. Stop spending.
Okay, so that is it for this video, baby. Let us know, are you going to participate in this boycott? And do you live your life like this before all of this? You know, shopping local, barely splurging a lot of your money and wasting your money, supporting local businesses, online businesses of your choice, and you already saw things for what they were a lot, and you are more wise with your money or where you spend your money type of thing. Let us know what you think. And do you honestly think this is going to happen? Do you think that all of America, or damn near half of America, is going to get down with this boycott? I mean, look, some people didn't think what would happen to Target would happen, and look what's happened. I mean, we've seen what has happened, the power of when people decide not to spend their money certain places. So I'm sure there'll be more updates. People haven't named all the stores. We can imagine what stores they're talking about not to go to. But yeah, they kept stressing, if you have to go somewhere, support local, because a lot of farmers and local businesses have been struggling. And this is interesting. We shall see what happens. There's a lot going on, baby. A lot going on. Talk to you all soon. If you decide to subscribe, hit the bell and click all notifications so you know when I'm live and when I'm uploading. You all take care. Bye.